Assalamualaikum and good morning. Welcome to all participants to BPPA third virtual town hall with our first session today with the topic internship with the new norm, is GOT still possible? Okay, before we go further, let me introduce our two lovely panels today, which is our first panel is Professor Technologist Dr. Haryani Haron. Professor Dr. Haryani Haron has vast experience in education, having served University Technology Mara for more than 30 years. She has taught courses on a range of information system and information technology topics on programming, IS and IT, research method, knowledge management technology, professional and ethics in information technology. Her research areas are industrial informatics, online communities, and digital cooperation in service sector. Some of her work are sponsored by government and industry grant. Her work has appeared in Index Journal and has been presented at international conferences. She has been invited to speak at numerous local and international forums, including National Bumiputra Convention for Digital Industry, Middle East Educational Technology Convention at Port Said, Egypt, Malaysia Technology Week, Alibaba Global E-Commerce Talent Symposium, among others. In line with University Technology Mara vision to become a global renowned university, Prof. Haryani leads the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Science for international collaboration through student and staff mobility. joint research project with industry and international collaborators. She believes that digital transformations open up vast opportunity for collaboration in the education domain. So thank you for joining us today, Prof. And also our second panel is Professor Dr. Haslinda Yusoff. Professor Dr. Haslinda Yusoff received her PhD from the University of South Australia, Adelaide, in the area related to corporate environmental accounting and reporting. She also received her master's degree from Curtin University of Technology, Australia. She's a full member of CPA Australia and a chartered accountant under the Malaysian Institute of Accountants. 25 years of service in University Technology Mara. She has vast experience in holding administrative positions at the university. She is currently the Dean of the Faculty of Accountancy. Previously, she has held the position as the Dean of the Institute of Graduate Study, Head of Academic Operation and Management at the Academic Affairs Division, and Program Coordinator at the Education Development Center, now known as the Institute of Continuing Education and Professional Study. Welcome to our panels today. It's a girl themes for today. All right, Prof. Prof. Haryani, for Haslinda, are you feeling well today?
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Great, Siti Hajar.
Okay, so yeah, I know that both of you are quite busy right now, like Prof. Dr. Haryani today in strategic planning session, but still have a time to join us today. Thank you so much, okay, to our panels. Right, so today actually we're going to deliver this session in English and also Bahasa, quite santai. So kalau ada participant wanted to ask a question, you can drop in our chat box in YouTube and I will pick up the question later. Okay, so today I think kita kalau katakan waktu saya tanya Prof. Haryani, kalau Prof. Haslinda nak join ke pun boleh, kita tak ada limit kan, kita santai-santai aja. Alright, so actually this topic, let me do some introduction because the new norm term wasn't new during and after the pandemic, and it's incorporate with safety precautions and preventing infection. Most companies have started adapting to this new norm. And so do the internship student. However, there are still issues in the debate such as whether the new norm affect the internship and GOT. So today's session with our two lovely panel here, we will discuss the scenario further. So I would like to start with Prof. Dr. Haryani. Because, you know, significantly, internship with the new norm has arisen a mixture of feelings and opinion on adapting to unique situations among students, lecturers, and industry. So in Prof, your own feedback, your own opinion. So virtual internship is a part of new norm. In your opinion, does this approach give equivalent experience to a conventional internship? So what do you think, Prof. Haryani?
First of all, thank you, Dr. Siti, for having me here. And also thank you, BPPA, for giving me this opportunity. Now, the topic is very interesting, virtual internship. And I think when we talk about virtual internship now, we cannot run away from the topic of digital transformation, which I think I'm very passionate on the topic of digital transformation. But looking into what the pandemic has done, before the pandemic, we found that every organization would like to do digital transformation. The problem is that the pace that the organization transforming digitally varies. So when it comes to the pandemic, everybody start to rely more on this digital environment. So that makes up things like the new norms such as virtual internship. And in the area of IT or computer science, we are very familiar in what we call as the collaborative virtual group, where we do collaborate virtually. But this is not to say that when pandemic is there, when virtual internship is introduced as a new norm, we can go inside this environment without any challenges. The challenges is that how ready is the organization in terms of their infrastructure to support this virtual internship? Yeah. But since the question is on whether it gives the equivalent experience as a conventional internship, obviously two different environment, it will not be similar. The experience is not similar, but I'm not saying that it is totally opposite. Yeah, it is totally cannot be done. I can safely say that there is a similarity, like 70% of the virtual internship still serve the purpose like the conventional internship. The part that which about 30% is on the human relationship, the face-to-face kind of thing. Yeah, when you collaborate, the discussion now has to be done online, virtually like this. Yeah, how the expression can only be seen through the face when you are discussing. So when you are collaborating, the whole body language matters actually. It's not only the facial expression. So I guess it did give some exposure, yeah, but maybe not totally. We can say that 70% of the virtual internship serve the purpose, give the experience of doing internship, giving the exposure on how the industry works, on how the current trend of industry, what's happening in the industry. But the 30% lacking is how do you communicate in the industry world. Yeah, because these students are the students which we say the fresh graduate, which might not be exposed to the industry. So by doing it virtually, I think the 30% will be missing. And that's why when we talk about virtual internship, I think this is a new norm. It has to be carried out, but the improvisation has to be looked into, the way, the human part where you communicate, because I think the way we communicate in industry, the way we throw the idea in industry is very much different when the students are doing their studies in the university. Yeah, so I think that is for the introduction. Dr. Siti.
Yeah, exactly, Doctor. Thank you for that. Yeah, communication is very important, kan? So recently we can see that some students, when we did it virtually, maybe they have like a miscommunication because of the lines and so on. Yeah, and we move to Dr. Haslinda. So because in the new norm, work has let most company work remotely. So does this work practice affect student development and delivery? Because they have to work independently and remotely. What do you think about that, Doctor?
Yeah, okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Siti Hajar, and also thank you to BPPA for the invitation. Very delighted to be here to share, inputs from us. In relation to the question just now, you were asking about virtual internship. Does it affect the students' development? My response is that yes, it does, but it is largely in a positive way. And it should be in a positive way because the exposure that our students get and also our graduates obtain from this form of internship is in a way it supports the professional growth and the personal growth, being independent learners, exposures towards enhancing on the technical skills, but through this digital platform, fostering learning, self-development in a new environment and so on. That actually, this form of internship push further our students and also our graduates to the next level, because in terms of technical knowledge, I think inshallah they will gain through this virtual internship, because it has already been guided and our collaboration with the industry, the expectations through this internship, the content, what we hope and expect from the industry to actually provide exposure to our students. But at the same time, from the context perspective of the students, they are given this new exposure. right, which they will actually personally develop. In fact, some of, for instance, from my faculty, some of our audit firms give exposures through this virtual internship, that they have the opportunity to also have the exposure on the international context. Uh, you know, services of audits and so on for international companies via virtual internship. So I guess that's the additional part and the positive way that I'm talking about. It's just that what we expect is that the development of the students, hopefully it is clearly guided by the mentor or the student's supervisor or advisor in the industry. Um, if not, it will definitely affect or disrupt the learning experience, the students' development, if they do not receive clear instructions, guidelines on what is expected in them. As Prof. Yani mentioned just now, the lacking part is the human touch, the real working environment, life with the industry people and so on. So through this digital platform, if that part is lacking coordination and clear guidance, then our students will definitely be affected.
Yeah. Okay. So, Prof, since I have to work independently and remotely, beside the supervisor guidance in industry and also from the university, what do you think are the support that can really help students when they have to do this internship remotely, Prof?
You mean from the context of the students or the industry or the university?
The student, Prof.
It goes back just now when we say about it trains, this is part of the training process for our students to be independent. In other words, they have to be proactive. It actually polish up on the agility of our students, bring resilience to changes and so on. In other words, actually this due to this pandemic and so on, and through this virtual internship, it actually prepares our students for the future, for the new norm, right? So it is their initiative, being proactive enough to seek for new knowledge, to learn new skills, apart from the technical skills being expected by the industry. So it actually trains our students to be a better person, a future-ready individuals, right? That meets the expectation of the industry. So I think it goes back to the character. It builds up the character, the values, the personality of the students in terms of the learning journey and the interactions through the digital platform and so on. I mean, like we do know there's also loopholes and also challenges in certain industry and to some students as well.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yeah, that's true. I think with this current situation, it helps students develop more soft skill compared to previous session. All right. Okay, Prof. Haryani. Now we go into the impacts. Impacts on the internship, the new norm, and decreasing number of company available for training have resulted in alternative assessment, such as student being given a project by the university as part of the internship program. So this is one of the initiatives that the university can do. So from pandemic to the endemic situation has resulted in changes on delivering work-based learning and assessment. So what is your input and opinion on this? Does alternative assessment help student development in the internship program, Prof?
Okay, I think in this area, yeah, for our because for our faculty, we have two major domain, that is mathematical sciences and also the computing sciences. Yeah, if for those who are in the computing sciences, yeah, I think by giving them another type of assessment, for example, projects within the university, it will not really it will not there will not be much difference than the project actually given by the industry. for example, when we ask them to come up with a project, and we know that our students in computer sciences, when they go out, most probably they will end up to be, for example, a full stack developer for system engineering. So what we have to do now is that the project that we assign to them must be according to the specification that they need once they would like to embark into employment. Yeah, so this one will not be, I think it will not be that much different. The thing that worries me, or I think a challenge for us, is that when you do the development, in the field of computer sciences, is that there are certain modules which we call the modules for the industry. Example here, I might go a little bit technical here, but just I know some of the audience from the technical background. Let's look at this way, We can teach the students a form of programming, for example, the Java language, and this Java language that we teach the students in the syllabus will be the Java language to make the understand how to do programming. Yeah, but if you only equip the students with this knowledge, when they go to the industry, most probably they will not be able to do the projects given by the industry. Yeah, because why? In industry, they will use another module for Java, which they call Java for industry. So in this case, this is in relation to your question just now, the last question to Prof. Linda, saying that what are the support that we must give. So the faculty is very concerned on this. We do not want our students who did the internship within the university, doing the university project, will miss on this thing. Yeah, so we make sure that they are sent for courses, extra courses during their break, for them to understand what are some of the modules. Most industry will use frameworks when they are developing their software. Yeah, so they must understand what are the existing frameworks available in the industry, so that when they develop the project, it is at par with the knowledge that they do, at par with the knowledge that they need to do to perform for the industry project. So I think in terms of assessment, for us, we do not have that much problem, provided that the support given in terms of giving the industry knowledge must be there for the students, so that they understand that in industry, especially when you are developing software, it must be fast. You cannot go from the scratch. You must be using all the frameworks that are available, and these frameworks keep on changing. Yeah, there are new frameworks coming up, so these students must be given the exposure first. So that is my take on the assessment. I think provided that the faculty must understand the need of the industry clearly before we assign them projects for the student to do. As compared to our students who are from the mathematical sciences, when they are from mathematical sciences, there is, I think, quite difficult or a challenge for the faculty to really come out with a project that suits the students from the mathematical background. Yeah, we want them to do some analytics. We want them to do some financial mathematics kind of thing. And this one can only happen when they have huge amount of data. Yeah, and this is the challenge that we are facing. Though we do receive some of the mathematical sciences students who are doing the internship in UITM. So what we did is that we really exposed them on how to do some mathematical modeling. Yeah, and the data that we get, that's why we collaborate with hospital UITM to get some of the data, all the internal data. But nevertheless, I would say that those from mathematical sciences, which require some huge data for some analytical purposes, I think it would be better for them to be given projects in the real world. Yeah, same goes for our students from the line of actuary sciences. Actuary sciences, we know that we are tied up to the professional body, so we need them to get as much exposure from the industry before they can get some exemption for their professional papers. So that is the challenges we are having. Then my take for the assessment in the university, Dr. Siti.
All right, thank you, Prof. Haryani. Okay, I think the feedback, we're going to go further on that after this, based on Prof explanation. Because on the next question, I'm going to ask Prof Haslinda, that one is related to environment and also the project. Okay, now Dr. Haryani already explained about the project. Of course, there's a difference in terms of the nature and delivery and so on. And the second thing is that not just an intern student, also from feedback from certain lecturer regarding the environment and the project. Okay, because if we do the project in UiTM, in university, internal, and also when we send student outside, even though the project is the same, but the environment is different. Okay, the pipeline, the process is different. So does the working environment contribute to developing student skills during an internship, or does the process deliver the project does matter? So what your opinion on that, Prof. Haslinda?
Okay, thank you, Siti Hajar. I think that's the two contexts of the questions that you have actually posed just now. If I may, for instance, like in our faculty, the project or the alternative assessment that we gave to our students are largely related to the industry that they attached in. So those who has been challenged by unable to complete the internship due to COVID and so on, but they have already had this maximum attachment of the internship. Hence, the alternative assessment, the projects are actually industry-based. So for our faculty, the project is, the task has been given when we map on the course learning outcomes and so on, but the context is from the industry. So they do learn and it relates largely to the industry. The process of doing the assessment, definitely it is also as equal important and contribute to the quality of the assessment and the learning outcome. Because the approach that they do in terms of the task given on the project or the academic papers as part of the assessment, that covers in terms of meeting the CLO, the expectations of the skills to be acquired, knowledge and so on. So that has been included in the whole framework. So I would say the actual learning experience, the actual working environment, plus also the academic papers or the projects definitely contribute to the students' development. The one thing that we have to be careful is if we opt or we have to the intervention through the alternative assessment, that particular assessment, the content, the structure, and so on, when we develop the assessment, that we have to clearly give focus and ensure that the CLO, right, the objective of this assessment is in line and clearly being mapped with the original or initial expectation in the assessment. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, we go back to part of the explanation from Prof. Haryani previously. This one is to both of you. Anyone can answer or add on. Okay, so there's a suggestion previously that how if the university collaborate with the industry. Let's say some of the industry right now, they don't have a facilities, because of the space, because of the pandemic, they have to close some space to make it smaller and so on. So and some of them doesn't have facilities, but they do have a project. So if this small studio who wanted to collaborate with the university, and do you think it's possible if the university provide the space for our student, but the project is a live project from the industry? So what do you think about that one? Because like Prof. Haryani mentioned, it's good if the student do a real project, right? The real project from the industry. So let's say, because we know that most industry right now is open to the freelance or co-working space, so they don't really have a space, but we do have a space in the university. So what do you think with this collaboration?
I will go for it. Yeah, I will support the idea. If the industry can come up with a project, the real project, very industry driven, and then they can come and discuss, and a group of our students work on that project, but they are based maybe in our faculty. Yeah, I think this is good. I think in terms of first, this is very similar. They get the exposure. And the only thing that the process, like Prof. Linda mentioned just now, the process is similar. They get all the exposure. The only thing lacking is the environment. Yeah, the environment, the office environment. Because if we put these students in a space in UITM, yeah, for example, it will be a space and the students will be there with their colleague working on one project. Yeah, I will say that in this case, it suits the computing sciences students, because computer sciences, we adopt to the office space, which we say the open space. Yeah, everyone wants to get attached to Google because they say Google, you can go and sleep whenever you want. Yeah, makan free. Yeah, everything is there, and you can just put your legs on the table. When you are so stressful, just put the headphone and hear some songs. And all, what matters is that you are productive later. Yeah. So the kind of open space, I think, is very good for computing sciences students. And I think this one, I will support it 100%. Yeah. And good for the faculty also because of the industry presence in the campuses, in the campus and in the faculty. So the other students will start to be very curious what is happening in that room, right? What are the students doing in that room? So because of the open space concept, yeah. And again, because we have some mathematical sciences students, yeah, who works on confidential data, who works, within an environment which they need their supervisors, yeah, to approve some kind of thing. So I think in this case, we must do the setup, yeah, differently from those from computing sciences students. So meaning that maybe a proper kind of space, yeah, which they know that this is a space that you can work on. And these are some of your files, which maybe some are confidential data, and these are the environment is a more, the environment which have some rules and procedures that they have to abide rather than the computing sciences students. So I think I support the idea, but in terms, I'm not saying that you can fix all majors, all programs, but what we can do is that some which is like computing sciences, I truly go for it. They can go. And in fact, in FSKM also, yeah, we have started on discussing with some of the industry to set up some open space concept, which the industry will give real project to the students so that they can be based in the faculty, and also the supervisor from the faculty will be supervising, and the meeting will happen about once a week from the supervisor from the industry to look into the progress of the students. Yeah. So I think Prof. Linda has a lot more to elaborate on this. I pass to Prof. Linda.
Thank you, Prof. Hani. Just to share a little bit about our experience in accounting. we previously we had this experience of the industry presence bringing in the audit firm into the faculty. Definitely it can be done. Like Hajar was saying, due to the challenges by the industry, especially the smaller and medium size of industry, and the lack of space, they have to give away, they don't rent any more space and so on, and they have shifted and moved towards online working environment. It is good. Inshallah, ya Prof. Yani, if we have the space in the faculty, definitely we can actually provide the learning industrial hub, or we call it, in the faculty. And the benefit goes not only to the students, but also to the lecturers, because we will also appoint them as the mentor and so on. The exposure about the in the learning actual working environment. However, the setup, how we set up the settings, how we curate and design the overall governance and operation and so on, that has to be really be cleared from right from the beginning, the strategic collaborations and setting with the industry, to the extent of what's our role as the university, as the faculty, and their role as the industry to provide the exposures, or even to the extent of the allowances and so on, and how frequent visits and mentoring or monitoring has to be done on our part of the faculty members, mentor, as well as the industry. That has to be carefully and properly designed. And it is possible. Yeah. So I'm together with Prof. Yani. I mean, like, by all means, definitely we welcome. Even I think that's part of our it should be part of our initiative to bring the industry into the university, right? So that they will have also the exposure about what actually we are capable of providing, not just through our lecturers, but also our students through this internship program and so on.
So means that in this situation, I think the university and the company itself must be flexible, to adapt to the new environment and the new structure. So in that note, it's good where if we, the university, set the structure on how it should be done, and in terms of when we talk about we can't run away from the SOP, right? So I think in terms of the guideline, it should come from the university, or the industry should work with us and look into how the new norm practice should be done if we wanted to go on this idea, Prof.
Prof. Yani, would you like to go first?
I think I give Prof. Linda first.
Okay. All right. So, okay. As we mentioned earlier, this is about engagement and strategic collaboration with the industry, and to the very large extent, we expect and we hope how industry could impart and contribute the knowledge to the students and so on. So, I would say we have to work together. To a large extent, we as the institution, we would want to set our SOP, our rulings and so on. But at the same time, don't forget, because we are working with them, so we must also work hand in hand with them with the rulings as well as expectation and so on. If we can remember, I think about when we had this MCO, right? There were times that industry expect our students to work from the office, and then the university, and the ministry at ministry level, the directive and so on, that we come up with the ruling that we do not allow our students to work from office. They are not allowed to do so, and that actually had I think a major impact to a number of our students from various faculties, that because we do not comply and fulfill the expectation of the industry for this internship program, hence some of our students are terminated, and at our part we have to find replacement for the students until some of the to the very last minute that we have to rope them into our bendahari. This is for my faculty, Faculty of Accountancy. We rope them in to continue their internship into pejabat bendahari and so on at our level. So that actually um, uh, signals to us that actually we have to work together, because the expectations from each parties, well, we talk about we care about the students, trying to minimize on the risk in terms of health and so on. But at the same time, the expectation from the industry is also very much important. And also at our level, what we had done previously, because a number of our accounting interns had been affected, we appeal. This is the faculty's experience. We appeal to the MEU to allow our students to start going and work from office to the respective industry. But we come up with some suggestions and clear guidance on, for instance, last time, if you can still remember, the red zone and so on, then we do not allow them to do so. They still have to stick with the UiTM's ruling. But for at the green zone and so on, please do allow them to go. And we engage with the industry to ensure on the SOP. We even come up with guidelines, borang SOP and so on, to understand about the responsibility that is being carried out by the industry, the companies, on the welfare of the students. So I would say the strategic collaborations, engagement, and agreement between both parties are definitely very crucial, and it's essential to make this work for the benefit of the students to gain the full exposures and experience through the internship program.
Yeah, it's true, Doctor. Thank you so much. Very clear, both opinions on that. Okay, now I will take one question from our participant. So, okay, he didn't put the names. Dia guna nama printing, Okay. One of the numerous difficulties of doing an internship during a pandemic is determining how to supervise students. So, was wondering what your thoughts are on this. So basically on supervision, Prof.
Okay, I think let me try to answer, Prof. Rita. Before answering the question, I just want to add a little bit on the points that Prof. Linda has mentioned just now. Yeah, I think if we are bringing in the industry to the faculty, for internship, these things should be synergized between not only hal ehwal academic. It must also be together. The effort must also be supported by ICANN, the jaringan industry, and also the HEP, and also the research office, research and innovation. There is one initiative I know, and which has been proposed to our faculty, and we are waiting to sign the MOU to start this project, a spearhead by Bitcom. I thank you to Associate Professor Dr. Syed Shatir for proposing it to FSKM, which they have an initiative, Micro Industry Hub, where the industry will set up the lab at the faculty or at the university, and then will appoint one research head, the research lab head, headed by one lecturer. And then they will have industry projects that we are, that we are doing over there, and we can start to get our students to work on the project. I think this is like the industry are also investing to get the infrastructure there, because one of the things that we know that the university might not have the appropriate or the needed infrastructure. So I think this is a win-win situation. And I think the idea is not new to get the industry to come in and work together, just that we need to enhance a little bit on how do we get the students to join these projects. So I think the initiative are already there, just that how do we fit in the student for industry for in the internship. Yeah, I think this can be done. Okay, back to the question on the supervision of the students. Yeah, yes, at our faculty, we supervise them online. Yeah, but again here, once you are given a student to supervise, yeah, every semester the faculty never fail to give me at least 3 students to supervise the internship. Yeah, they say that it's a good some good move by the faculty member. They say that they kan mestilah tahu apa yang terjadi. They say, right. So normally I have 3 internship students to supervise, and I have also final year project students to supervise. Yeah, they say that so that the dean will not be at one position which she is totally lost of what's going on in the faculty. Okay, so what we did, once the name is given to us, we know that these are the students that we need to supervise. Normally, the supervisors will have all kinds of form to fill up. Yeah, BLI 0304 whatsoever. So in this case, I will always take the student's name. Yeah, first thing is informally contacting the students through WhatsApp, asking them what are the projects that they give to you. Okay, and then if the projects and introduce that I'm supervising them, but mostly through phone calls and WhatsApp chats. Yeah, then after like our internship computer science for 20 weeks. Yeah, normally during week 12. Yeah, we will have one meetings with the industry supervisor. Yeah, the industry supervisor. I think this is very good because the industry supervisor later will give us some feedback also on the progress of the students. And this is where we will advise the student later what they need to align. Yeah, what are their shortcomings so that they can prepare themselves. Yeah, and then after that they will have the report that they will have to submit, and from there we supervise how to do the report, and the report also have to be submitted to the industry supervisor, whether they agree that these are the jobs that the student have done, and they agree that the documentation are accordingly to the standards of the industry. So I think in terms of supervising students, yeah, I don't think that that is much of a challenge, yeah, as long as we are in contact with the students. But I do understand certain faculty you might be assigned like 10 or 12 students for internship. That will be a challenge. But if it can be done virtually, then I think that will be less traveling. Then that will be better rather than we have to go there physically. Yeah, kalau if it is virtually, I think you can do more engagement with the industry supervisor and also the students. Okay.
Okay. On that note, Prof. Haslinda, okay, if we wanted to go further on the role of supervisor, kan, based on explanation from Prof. Haryani tadi pun, kita boleh lihat actually the role of supervisor is not just supervise the student, but also they should have engagement with the industry to get to know what's happening now or the current trend from the industry. So what your opinion on that, Prof?
Yeah, definitely, very true. I think relating back to the question on that, there should not be a problem. Inshallah, I would say because I mean, like we have been exposed to this for 2 years, right? Not just about internship, our supervision for postgrad, final year project, and so on. So the engagement, the role of the supervisors, definitely I would say definitely we have enhanced our digital skills, communication skills through this new platform, new setting, new environment. So that I would, well, that Hajar, there should not be a problem, I hope, in terms of on our part, but the engagement that we can also do with the industry supervisors, mentors, and so on is also more of we should take the opportunity to seek their input on what are the new challenges. I mean, they have experience engaging, hiring our interns on the traditional conventional setting, and now through these virtual internships and so on. So we should engage with them in terms of when we do our engagement session or monitoring session and so on. We seek for more inputs of the new challenges, maybe to understand on their part what are the challenges in terms of them actually supervising our students and also mentoring our students from this new norm setting. I guess yang itu yang kita also need to seek more for us to understand from their perspective what are the real challenges, so that us, the faculty and the university, will find ways or initiatives and intervention to further equip our students, to prep our students for them to be more prepared to enter into this virtual internship period of learning journey, right?
Yeah. Indeed, I agree with you, Prof. Haslinda. Okay, so another issue is actually previously we heard that some of our students during this pandemic and the internship have been done virtually. So ada juga macam kita pun ada yang maklumkan di chat tadi kan about company yang tak apa-apa katanya kan dihantar student ni buat perkara yang tak sepatutnya. So previously there's been a discussion whether should we just send the student to the company that already have an MOU with us, or we can take any startup company or small company. Or I think on this term, I quite agree dengan apa Prof. Haryani maklumkan tadi regarding that we need a support from the ICANN department as well. Because I think each faculty, the ICANN department already provide us with numbers of company, list of company that already have a MOU, that we can select from there to send our student. So, but recently, I think some of the company, they don't have an MOU, but because we need to send our student, because we have a diploma student and then we have a 3-1I program, 1 year internship for degree student. So what do you think on that? Should we have an MOU or should we check on the company background first before we send our student, or how, Prof?
Prof Yani?
Mana-mana pun boleh.
Okay.
Prof Yani ke, Prof Haslinda ke?
Prof, I jawab dulu ke?
Ya, boleh Prof.
Oh, boleh. Okay.
Silakan.
Okay, Hajar, I mean, like for Faculty of Accountancy, in every semester, the whole system in UiTM, we have about 700 to 800 students going out for internship. Well, we can't be picky, but right, definitely it will be good to start off with sending them to those companies with MOA and MOU with us, having MOA or MOU with us. But from our side, we are not able to do that, because it's too many. So yes, we do homework. Definitely we should. I guess it's not a matter of kalau untuk accounting kan, maybe some people would say send to the multinational companies, send to the JLC, send to the audit firms. The prominent ones, I think we are not worried because we already have close engagement. But for the new companies and so on, I think on our part, we should do some homework about it. At the same time, if the students have no choice or limited choices to enroll into their internship, the monitoring structure, the governance part, yang itu yang kita kena tighten up in terms of don't wait until the end that we know that our students are given tasks non-related to our field and non-beneficial to them. But from the beginning, continuous engagement, especially through kita punya coordinator latihan praktik, right? Close engagement with the supervisors, with the industry, because at the very beginning, we also, I think, give clear information about the expectations, the period of internship for our faculty. Kalau Prof Yani tadi 20 weeks, ours is 24 weeks of internship. So we definitely have to ensure that it's a worthwhile 24 weeks of internship program, and that they are given impart knowledge on the right skills sets, competencies, and so on. So to reiterate back on this, yes, definitely good. I mean, like, we already have MOU and MOA. We have close engagement. That should go first. But if not, then we on our part must play our role to clearly engage, do homework, and close monitoring in terms of ensuring the quality of the program itself. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I concur with Prof. Linda. Yeah, obviously, if you have MOU, MOA, that will be good. Yeah, but again, same thing with FSKM. Every semester, yeah, we have about 600, 700, maybe 100 lesser than accountancy for the students to be placed at the industry. Also, I agree with Prof. Linda. MNC, GLC are the A-lister, we say, yeah, for our student, meaning that these are the A-lister company. Go and apply for those company first, yeah. But there is some recent trend that we look now is that do not disregard the smaller company, because actually the smaller company are giving the most exposure to the students, because the students really have to work in an environment which they need to have all the skill, the knowledge they have learned, and put it in a project with these companies or industry. I found that and for our students, about 38% of them are being employed after they finish their internship, and they are being employed by this company. Yeah, and their salary, they are not, they are given the salary sometimes at par or better than the market, the market price. Yeah, so I think we are still studying on this recent trend. Yeah, I think one of it is due to the current scenario, which everyone wants IR 4.0, and they start to have all these students who can perform and do the work and the skill. Yeah, and just to share here, yeah, the students who are employed first are the students which has a CGPA, yeah, between 2.75 to 3.3. Yeah, because I think these students opt to go for a lesser known companies, yeah, lesser known industry, and they get employed. But those students who are very top students who go for MNC, yeah, now some of the MNC did not employ the student straight away. They have to go to another programs, yeah, for them to be employed. So we found that this is very interesting, yeah, phenomena, especially when you are a fresh graduate, yeah, you need to get as much exposure. You need to create your niche in the IT world. So once you can do a project on your own, you are the project manager for one project, yeah, by a company which maybe they won the tender from the government. And if you are the project manager, definitely once you complete the project, your value will be better off. Yeah. So we found that this during the exam marks presentation, yeah, our job, the internship coordinator presented, and we were like, oh no, these students there is a few students which never get any anugerah dekan at all. Kan? But they are the first to be employed. Yeah, and Alhamdulillah, I'll say Alhamdulillah, and I know that they have the skill. So this is one way to say that do not look upon the smaller industry as not a potential place for your students to do internship. Maybe this company are given will be giving the most exposure to your students. This is our advice. Though, frankly speaking, we do put a cap on how many students are going for government agencies. In this thing, we are quite, we really control our students. We do not want more than 10% of our students go for government agencies. Yeah, unnecessarily. Because we are afraid that they did not get the expected exposure that we want them to get.
Yeah. Okay.
If I may add a little bit, Hajar.
Yeah, sure, Prof.
From the context of accounting, because we expect them to the very best is to enroll and get placement in audit firms, so that they really can fully apply their knowledge on accounting and auditing at those places. Very true, Prof. Yani. There are students yang attached to multinational GLCs and so on, because it's so huge. And they have ample human resource and skills and so on. So our students will only be given a smaller task or a partial kind of a portion of projects to handle. But those who enroll and get placement in smaller audit firms and so on, they are given the whole comprehensive task that they will definitely be beneficial to them to apply the whole knowledge that they have learned. And at the end, some of them even become the leading the audit or tax or certain risk tasks and so on. So size does not actually matter. It goes back to our part being responsible to monitor on the quality. If we find some companies are not really in the good book, then we put them in our not so good book, so that we try and avoid to send incoming semester future students to these particular companies.
Right. Okay, thank you, Prof. So I think the next one, dia ada berkait jugalah tadi dengan Prof maklumkan tentang student, a good graded student already pergi dulu kan, all these good company and so on, and then the rest maybe go on a small company but they deliver a good project and so on. So that one sometimes very subjective kan, tak semestinya yang pergi company besar tu maybe they what just a small task and so on. Okay, so maybe the experience is different compared to the others. Okay? The next one actually is related to entrepreneurship, Prof. Kan? I think in YTM sekarang ni kita pun selalu talk about entrepreneurship ni. So there's a suggestion on how if this student going out for internship but under self-employed or having their own business as an alternative practice for an internship. So does it work or is it possible to be done? Because if you look at diploma student before they're going out for internship, semester 4 they already done the entrepreneurship course subject. That they have to do the MyENT cert and so on and do the business. So they already have orang kata a base startup. So if for the degree student who going out for 1 year internship, so this one I can give example. Let's say because I'm from animation department, so there's a student, my student who develop a small company, memang berdaftar. So they take from clients such as to do music video, and then they did commission work, illustrations, animations, because sometimes a big company maybe the fee is quite expensive, and there's alternative which is our student yang tak graduate lagi tapi dah ada business dah. I do have a student yang during semester 4 they run the business and they use that money for their final project actually. So what your opinion on this, Prof? Is it possible if our student go internship but under entrepreneurship banner tu?
I bagi Prof Yani lah jawab Prof Yani
I would say go for it. Yeah, I would say go for it. I mean, it can be done. Yeah, just that we must put down the new assessment on how do you measure their performance. Yeah, we cannot be using the same criteria of assessment for the student. Definitely, for example, one of the question that we are asked to rate will be, adakah pelajar ini boleh bekerja independently? Definitely, kalau dia dah jadi usahawan tu, they work independently. Yeah, but maybe we ought to put another measures. For example, berjayakah dia mendapatkan projek-projek yang lebih besar? But looking at that, if this is a computer science student, let's say graduate with a computer science degree, and they start company, they start company which can do some software development. Okay, now when they start up a company to do the software development entrepreneur, they are able to give to write small projects for the students here. When you say keusahawanan, when you say entrepreneurship, it has all this element of keusahawanan like marketing. How do you market them? And I think this one shouldn't be it should not be a criteria to say that whether they have fulfilled the internship or not, because they are supposed to get the exposure on doing programs, developing softwares. Besides, maybe only a certain percentage on the entrepreneur environment. Yeah. So if we are going to do this, which I'm not saying that this is not a good idea. It is a good idea because like Dr. Siti also, we have a few students who can do editing on videos, multimedia kind of thing. And these students always get projects from various party, internal in UiTM and also external, just to ask them to do some editing of the videos. Yeah, and then they make money, though they set up their company. Yeah, but they told us is that they do not look at this as really in a serious entrepreneur situation, because they need the money. They do it, you pay me, the pay is good, so they keep on doing it for their friends whatsoever. Yeah, but if we want this for computer science students, to set up the criteria must be carefully laid out, the assessment. How do we assess that they have the entrepreneur skill, and their internship is on entrepreneur, but is it in line with what we want them to get, the knowledge from the industry? Yeah, so this is the thing that I think can be done, but we need to really sit down and look at how it can be done. Yeah, okay, thank you.
I think I have something to add on this, Hajar, if I may. My opinion is it cannot be a blanket one that we allow self-employed as alternative practice for internship. It has to also be related to the program, macam Prof Yani sebut tadi, right? Expectation, our CLO and so on. For accounting, if I may share, we definitely will have to have a careful consideration on this part, because the expectation of our graduates is, and the expectation of the CLO from the internship is about able to perform accounting tasks, and so on, which maybe if it is self-employed doing business and so on, it's not largely covering on the accounting, but more on other aspects and so on. So my take is that it can be done, but it has to be carefully designed on the key content, expectation, the rubric of assessment and so on. Plus also it has to also be related on certain field and not to be applied and generalized to all faculties or all field. Okay.
Yes, definitely, Prof. I quite agree with that. Kan? Maybe it's going to be like open. Of course, definitely not all program are suitable to do that. Yeah. So yeah, the next one. This one is orang kata the main thing today. Internship versus GOT. So, in Prof opinion, does GOT still possible? Whatever the intake that we discussed previously just now. So do you think GOT is still possible, Prof?
Prof, I jawab ya.
Okay, Prof Linda dulu.
I tunggu je Prof Yani. I bagi Prof Yani lah respect her as well as my senior. Okay, I boleh jawab. I rasa my opinion is that definitely it is possible. I mean, like, if we have seen this for 4 semesters, we're coming to the 5th semester. How we structure and how we run this, previously when we had challenges and so on, we take that, create this intervention through the alternative assessment. So definitely, whether it is a virtual internship, GOT is definitely possible as we have mapped out clearly on according to the plan pengajian. And when we face the challenges, when the students face challenges, being terminated and so on, we find alternatives and we also top it up with the alternative assessment. So my quick short answer is yes, definitely.
Okay, add
Okay,
up a
Prof.
little
Haryani?
bit. Yeah, I think in the mathematician sentence, yeah, I think there is no correlation internship and GOT. Yeah, meaning that internship will not affect. Yeah, I mean, unless you have your internship will not affect your GOT. As what Prof. Linda has mentioned, we are looking into intervention. Yeah, we are looking into intervention here. So definitely, I don't think so. It is a problem here.
Okay, I think the next question, Prof, we can go further. It's still under the GOT. How does GOT affect the quality of internship outcome? So, do GOT have a significant relationship in determining the quality of the project? Means that mana yang utama, Prof? Okay, we look at the GOT or the outcome, or Prof nak tambah lagi on the GE, which one? Yeah.
I think internship has some correlation with graduate employability. Yeah, as we found, our data shows that this year, the students which undergone the internship for last semester, which just finished their internship, our record shows that 37% of them are being offered the job at the place of internship. Yeah, and 37, I think, percent is quite huge because we are talking about 600 to 700 students. Yeah, here. Okay, so meaning that this is, I think, really reflect, and the percentage increases. Last semester it was about 33%. Yeah, and there is one a program, computer science in networking. Yeah, students, the employability rate after the internship is 47%, nearly 50%. Yeah. So I think this very unique because these are the hackers. These are the programs that produce hackers. So most of them, I think, are very skill-based. Their CGPA might not be that high, but very skill-based. If they are not being offered the job by the companies which they did their internship, most of them will get the job offers from MNC, international companies. I think because of their track record in competition, in hacking competitions. Yeah. So so if you say how what is the relationship between internship and GE, I think internship is still relevant for the student to get employment. And I really believe that if you really focus on the internship, because I always mention this at the faculty, this is our last frontier before we let the student go to the industry. Failure of the students to be employed in the industry, if the industry ever say that there is a mismatch of the talent, that means that anything needs to be rectified during the internship. So we always look very seriously on the internship placement. Where are our students being placed? So our internship coordinators play a very important role here to brief us during our jawatan kuasa academic faculty. Where do our students go to for their internship? How many are in their line, or how many goes to the industry different from their specialization? And what are the jobs that are or projects that are being given? So then from there, we get some feedback. We know that who to assign as their academic supervisor. If we know that, oh, this student goes to another industry, another industry which is not maybe in the computing industry. So we will put one supervisor that will closely monitor what are the new changes that is happening in the industry currently. For example, just to share, before this, most of our students go to the software development industry. Software house, software development kind of industry. But recently, for the past 2 semesters, we found that most of our students did their internship in logistic and transport companies, industry. So at first, this is our concern, because we do not want some of us say that jangan dia jadi the rider sudah, kan? But then we found that the projects are not on that, but they really look into the transportation, the logistic kind of thing. From here, we know that we call it the X factor. Why does this student get the X factor to go to the logistic? Because they have a strong mathematical background that allows them to do some mathematical modeling on what are the best logistic for the company. I think I really support the internship for our students, because I think that is the last frontiers for the students, for us to equip the students to say that do good for you to excel, or before for you to get employment. That is my take, Doctor.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Prof. Haslinda, you want to add on that? Prof, we can't hear you, Prof.
All right, sorry for that. Just a little bit from me on this part, some comments. The relationship between this is that we know that internship is one of the course in the Pelan Pengajian in our program, right? And that the relationship with GOT is that if you are able to complete all courses, including internship successfully, then definitely, inshallah, you will graduate on time. And GOT is an indicator that you are a good, excellent students, apart from the CGPA and so on. And so internship, GOT, and that leads to DGE. Like what Prof. Yani mentioned, explained just now. So the exposures, not just the technical part from the courses in our faculty, in our institution, but also the exposures and knowledge that you gain through internship will actually make you ready as the future human capital for the industry. And that actually internship is an important element for the learning outcomes, evidences of the excellent learning outcomes of our students to actually help in terms of to enhance on the graduate employability for them. So I think that's the relationship, or maybe just the direction of between internship, the GOT, and the GE, right? sometimes students are so engrossed into takut tak GOT, right? GOT is one, but more important is about the academic performance, plus also the knowledge and experience that you have gained and how you have become, graduate successfully. GOT is just one of the indicator, but definitely we know many of our students, even expectations from parents that they want their kids, their children to graduate fast, to be able to help the family and so on. But at the same time, GOT is not the sole indicator, but more of GE is very important. Exposures. We know faculties like Prof Yani and many more that the internship is the final semester. Some faculties are the second final semester, then they come back and so on. So for faculties like Prof Yani, and we are moving towards that in our faculty, that is definitely a good strategic way because we place the internship at the very end. That will actually opens up job opportunities as industry has directly seen their capabilities and they can hire them directly. For those faculties which is internship is not at the last end, the exposures, right? Industry exposures, the knowledge and skills gained through the internship definitely is part of the expectation on the program outcome and the learning outcomes of our graduates, inshallah.
Inshallah, Prof. Yeah, I think the structure, the curriculum structure on the internship is good enough already right now because that one dia boleh terus kan bekerja terus, no need to come back to the uni. Okay, I ambil satu soalan daripada participant, Prof. Okay. Dia kata, salam Prof Haryani and Prof Haslinda. What do you think of the service industry like hospitality industry? Can internship be substitute with innovation? Yeah. Siapa nak jawab dulu?
Okay, maybe a little bit from me. We know, Prof Yani, hospitality is really, faced a huge challenge during the pandemic, right? Because it's practical based and so on. So yes, I would say it can be replaced on certain circumstances if we don't have the options and the availability of the actual exposures, the industry exposures. We have to actually equip these students with a different form of exposures, maybe through innovation from our side, the faculty, and also maybe from the industry on giving projects through innovation projects and things like that. I guess that's my input or response on this matter, right?
Okay, I agree with Prof Linda also here. For those for the person or the participant who sent the question, yeah, I think this is very forward-thinking question. Can we replace with innovation? Let's try to go back and look into what is actually innovation. Yeah, when you say you innovate, meaning that you must know what is the current trend available at the industry. So meaning that if you are going to say innovation to replace the internship, first the industry player, you must gauge the industry to know the current trend of the services available. Right? What are being offered at the market, and then from there you innovate, and when you innovate, the innovation should be assessed, yeah, by the industry. Okay, and you ought to innovate something with the guidance of the academic supervisor and also the industry supervisor. And then then we say that this is innovation. I think that is a good idea.
Not just for, I think Prof
Uh,
Yani, not just for hospitality, maybe for others
yeah.
as well. But definitely when we talk about internship, we want this engagement and relationship with the industry. So the way that we design, it goes back to tadi yang points yang kita dah sebut. The way that we design, we curate the whole thing, it has to be molded accordingly to fit to what are our expectation on the internship content.
Yeah, I think it can go across all field, all the service industry. Yeah, the customer service industry, maybe hospitality, hotel, but also in I think accountancy and also computing sciences and mathematics. I think we have all the service industry. And then how do you innovate or maybe to get more customer experience? Yeah, come out with a new innovation. I think if this can be done, this is good. I think this is good, and I think this is the way forward. Especially we are in the gig economy. Yeah, we are in the gig economy where the students would love to do some freelancing, and if you can innovate something, I think it is in line with the current situation.
Betul, Prof. Good. So basically, Prof, with all this what been discussed tadi, actually we've reached our final question. Okay, the question yang I think is very important. Okay, because it's for our students, related to our student. Okay, so now if we look what we have been discussed, actually the university, the industry, the supervisor from both side, industry and university, we already know, okay, the SOP and how to conduct the internship in the new norm. In fact, we aware in terms of the assessment and the alternative assessment. Okay, so actually, when we look at this thing, whether the GOT is possible or not, depends on the student, right? So as we can see that maybe some students have a problem during this pandemic with the new norm. They can't adapt to the situation because some of them, we're having a student yang daripada semester 1 till semester 4 ODL. Okay, so dia tak pernah keluar lagi. So and then ada juga yang bila pergi internship pun work remotely, independently. So dia dah bosan. Alah madam, internship pun tak boleh keluar. Bila kita orang boleh keluar ni kan? Ada juga yang melawak kata kalau macam ni madam kerja pun online sampai bila saya nak bertemu jodoh. Okay, that's the thing yang benda-benda funny macam tu, but it makes sense kan? So how, Prof, to boost our student motivation, to prepare them to aware this is the situation right now, that whether they like it or not, they have to adapt with the current situation and they have to prepare themselves to move forward. So what's your opinion or idea or any orang kata semangat for our student ni, Prof?
Linda,
okay, I think like we have to accept that this is the new norm, right? And definitely what we want, I mean, at UiTM, our mission, our vision, our aspiration, we want to produce professional Bumiputra, right? Equipped with the full knowledge and expertise, competencies, and so on. And the challenges that we have faced through COVID, we definitely want our students to be a resilience to change, right? Nak kena kuat lah semangat tu. And also be positive thinkers. Tadi kita dah sebut dah. In our education 5.0, progressive, independent learners, semua tu dah ada sebenarnya. But the way how we actually bring ourselves, we want you to lead and chart your journey and so on. So I would say to our students, well, also to our lecturers kan, and our warga semua, we have to be positive. We have to adapt and be agile to changes. If we are, well, there are times that we are frustrated, macam tadi Hajar sebut lah, students dah lama sangat and so on. But we have to, nak kena kata apa ya, muhasabah, take one step back and understand the situation and we have to move forward. Be positive, be proactive and progressive, and I think these experiences and challenges have actually have actually enhanced on our character, is a part of the journey of character building, inshallah, hopefully towards a better one. So I think
Yeah,
that's for me,
inshallah, Prof.
right?
Prof. Haryani?
Okay, I think okay, I sympathize ya, susah jadi jodoh online ya. But I thought the scenario is not much different. Actually, the millennials ya, I think those who are us yang belum temu jodoh tu, they must be around millennials generation ya. I thought the millennials are very are very good in social media. You have Facebook, kan? You have Twitter, you like to say things online. I think this is part and parcel of your growing up era. Just that now, when it comes to your PNP, yeah, ODL, this is where you say that maybe you miss your lecturer, you want to see the lecturer physically, yeah, but you are the group which digital native, yeah, which you grow up with all these digital gadgets, yeah. And I bet all of you are, when you type your WhatsApp to your lecturer, you are much more faster and you was asking yourself, kenapa lecturer ni typing aja tak keluar-keluar, kan? Because lambat, the lecturer type lambat, but you all are the millennials. So I think look at it as not something we just which is which just happened in your life, and you have been living with this. All you need to do is think of it that now all technology evolve. Yeah, then the one that you are having now are what we call as the emerging technology. Now there are new technology for teaching and learning, right? Why does this happen? It's not only because of COVID, but you must know that because we are so familiar with technology. So now it has encroached in your life. And now because you are a student, most of you are still, still learning. You are very much into, you are a student, so you need to learn. So now technology has come into the teaching and learning. Yeah, but that is a part and parcel of your growing up in a digital world. Yeah. Sooner or later, you will have your digital ID, you will become digital citizen. So these are very normal way of life. Yeah, think of it that way. And I think obviously you have heard people always say about humanizing technology. Yeah, technology cannot be humanized without you using it. Yeah, so you must be using all this technology in all aspect of your life, so you can humanize this technology rather than you are waiting, where is the AI, so that the technology become human to me. It should not be interpreted like that. It should be interpreted because I'm using it now. The technology is familiar to me, so I'm humanizing the technology. And when you can have this direction, and you know that things will change. After this, mungkin bertemu jodoh di online lebih kerap daripada offline, ya. So I think bertabahlah, but I think of it that this is the world that we are entering. Tengok banyak-banyak cerita Spider-Man, you tengok about the metaverse. Yeah, one day kan, maybe your life will be all virtual, kan, you boleh tengok orang from a metaverse perspective. Your friends are there, though your friends are apart. Yeah, so this thing, suka tengok Spider-Man, suka tengok Iron Man, that is the world that we are going to live in. Yeah, thank you, Hajar.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. Haryani and Prof. Haslinda. We are at the end of our session already. Before we go off, I would like to share. Actually, today at 2:30, we have another session, which is the second session. This one ada kena-mengena dengan kita discuss tadi, Prof. Because the title actually is Measuring the Right Skill, Assessment and Employability. Okay. So mana yang tadi yang curious kan, how we going to assess with the new skill and so on. So today petang ni at 2:30, jangan ketinggalan. Kita ada panel bersama Profesor Dr. Jamaluddin Abdullah, Dekan Fakulti Seni Bina, Perancang dan Ukur, dan second panel adalah Prof. Dr. Farida Zuraina daripada Dekan Fakulti Sains Gunaan, dan moderator kita adalah the most famous man in UiTM, boleh tak I cakap macam tu? Okay, itu Prof. Madya, TS Dr. Syamsul Nur Azlan kan? Okay, dia ada fan tersendiri, so jangan lepaskan peluang petang ni untuk bersama-sama dengan panel and moderator untuk second session. Thank you so much Prof. Haslinda and Prof. Haryani for joining us today. Ada any last word, Prof, from both of you to our student and supervisor, to the industry yang mungkin ada join kita hari ini?
Well, I think kita dah sebut tadi dah a few kan, Prof Yani, adapt to changes. I think with the challenges that we have faced, we have to learn to be positive, be proactive, and move forward. I think that's all from me. Right,
Okay,
thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and again, to all the students there, yeah, if you are there, look at it like internship is the place which you really prove what you have learned so far. Yeah, maybe during your classes, you say that di subjek saya tak minat, di subjek tak minat, tapi itu bukan bermakna I am not a good student. So now, internship is a place where you can prove yourself. Yeah. All those 6 semesters that you have spent, and you can prove to the industry and also maybe to your lecturer, see, I got employed and I did internship. See, the industry really look upon me, say that I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Because one thing, one feedback which I always get from the industry, yeah, they say that you ITM students, yeah, though and also they mentioned about FS Chem student are very good technically. Technically, you are sound. You are very good technically. Okay, the thing that they can say this is because when you did the internship, you really prove you can do it. So they are very impressed on the UiTM student. I think this is one point which I always smile, and I'm always happy when I supervise interns for my faculty and also for UiTM. I think use this. Do believe that the syllabus is good. Now it all boils down to you as a student. Prove yourself to the industry. You are good. Yeah. So that is. I hope this motivates you to do the very best for the interns. Doesn't matter virtual or offline. Yeah. Do the very best. I think you'll do good.
Right. Thank you, Prof. Haryani from Haslinda for joining us today. I got inspired myself juga dengan all the inputs, and I think the others as well. Thank you to all our participants in YouTube for still be with us at this moment. Thank you so much. Till next time. InsyaAllah yang baik adalah daripada Allah SWT, yang buruk daripada kita, dan saya mohon maaf di atas pihak BPPA pada hari ini. Terima kasih. Thank you semua.
Alright, thank you very much everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, dah tamatkan live